Hey, what's happening? I am apparently live. I'm not going to be watching because I'm driving, and I know people are always going to be, you shouldn't do that while you drive. Totally agree with you. But then again, you got shows like American Pickers and Carpool Karaoke. People are driving. So I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I need some time to share some thoughts. So many of you know that we've been on this journey, my family and I, where we sold all of our stuff. And we decided to get an RV, put our stuff in storage, and spend some time traveling. Well, I'm really learning this whole trip about what it takes to adapt to change. And things change, and you can either get totally bummed out about things not going your way, or you can just see the beauty in the journey and learn to adjust and adapt and go with it. And that's been the whole story of this trip too. Because first of all, I could complain oh, you know what? We really had this vision that we'd be traveling a lot more. But we also learned, too, what it's like to live in an RV. And it's not necessarily cheap to travel in an RV. And it takes a lot of work, too, to get that thing up and running, find the campsites. It's a lot of work just understanding the route you're taking. Is it RV friendly? Are there any low clearance, areas you have to be worried about? It's definitely a lot of work. So I could say, man, I'm a little disappointed I haven't done more travel, but at the same time, I'm thrilled with what we've been able to do. We've been based in Maine this whole time. We're doing some travel here and there, not really in the RV, but we'll leave the RV behind and maybe go for a trip somewhere else. Nikki's currently actually in Los Angeles on a trip, which is really amazing. So things definitely change, and I'm getting so much out of this too. Right now, honestly, this is a whole 3-phase program for us. This whole idea of living with less and following this one thing, this courageous adventure, living a life aligned with our values. It's going in 3 phases. Phase 1 is what we're in right now, and that was get the house on the market, lease the house out, get the stuff in storage, sell as much as we possibly can, only keep the things that we really love. Learn to live with less, have experience in an RV just to understand what that would be like, to go from a big house to go to transitioning to a 38, foot long RV. Learn how to have a different relationship with money. And that means no matter how much you have or how little we have, it was just changing our relationship with it, how much power it actually had over our lives. So that's changed dramatically. Our spending has changed dramatically. We've done some financial fasting where it's only spending money on the absolute necessities. Nowadays, if I spend money, it's either for something for my family, for what we need, or it's something for my business that I know I'm going to get a return on. I like spending money on things that are going to make me money. That's super important to me. The other thing, too, is we wanted to spend more time with some family up here. My son is playing with his grandparents every day. Dude, my 5-year-old kid comes back every day just covered in dirt and sweat because he's been playing outside, doing what kids should do. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, again, kind of felt bummed out at first that, all right, maybe we're not traveling so much. Maybe we're not doing this right. You know what? We're actually doing everything we're supposed to be doing. Again, part of the phase 1 was to learn how to transition our businesses to be more mobile. Nikki's in the process of doing that right now. It's going amazing. It's taking its time. It's a slower process, but she's doing it. How many families, can have 2 entrepreneurs in it and keep their head above water? We're not just keeping our head above water. We're actually swimming now. We're doing better at this, and I love that. So that's what phase 1 is looking like. And so the RV is going to go back. We have to give that back to our friend who's been so incredible to let us use it. We're giving that back at the end of September. And September is going to be exciting too. I'm going to be flying out to LA in the Manhattan Beach area soon also for about 9 to 10 days with Nikki. I've got meetings out there. I got a speaking engagement out there. So super excited about that. Fox starts kindergarten next week, which is cool. So I'm gonna be taking him to that. Then, our parents are gonna help get him there while we're both in LA for a little bit. So some great stuff happening there. Phase 2 is really going to be exciting for us because phase 2 is next year. So at the end of this year, so once we give the RV back, we're going to be staying in another house here in Maine for a while. And then next year, the goal is get the house on the market again, spend some more time on the road, do a little more domestic travel, maybe some international travel, continue to expand our businesses. And then year 3, the goal is we want to live abroad somewhere for 6 months. Another country, Belize, Costa Rica, Thailand, who knows? Obviously, what's in the best interest of our son is going to, dictate everything. But as long as he's thriving through the journey, that's what we want to do. So this is some of the thoughts that I've had on my mind, because at first I was kind of feeling a little bummed out that we weren't maybe following through with this whole adventure the way I thought. And I'm like, man, how can I give myself a hard time for doing something that honestly is still pretty badass? So, and it's going to continue to be badass. So, learn that things change. Learn to adapt, evolve, and go with it and enjoy the hell out of the journey. So, that's all I wanted to share, friends. Thank you. Bye.